you're learning things that you didn't know about. You look around this room and you see some beautiful people, all nice and fluffy, and the secrets behind the curtain, those secrets are coming out. Hopefully to educate us and to help us educate the population so we can eradicate. That's the key, to eradicate.
On behalf of Sheriff McDonald and the LA County Sheriff Department, I am pleased to be here and I join the Safe Passage and Trish Steele in recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As the co-chair of the Interagency Council on Child Abuse and Neglect, the sheriff himself is committed to the mission of keeping our children safe. New procedures which enhance the safety of children and domestic violence, calls for service, and the evaluation of current domestic violence enforcement policies are underway currently. In less than a year, he just took office in January. It is a priority for him. We join the Safe Passage in working to end the suffering associated with domestic violence, and we appreciate the opportunity to stand with our partners in recognizing domestic violence awareness.
And if we knew, like I said, I didn't know about Safe Passage, but if NFL retired players knew about Safe Passage, I'm sure you would get all kinds of help and whatever we can do to support the program, support, to give talks, to give whatever it is that's necessary, because it's something that, as we get older, we understand is needed. Now, when we're younger, and we think that we know everything, and that we can take care of everything, it's a different thing. But as we become older, and as we experience things, and as we see other people experience things, and we see former players, or even current players doing things, and we look back, it's like, I remember when I was this age and I did that, or I remember when I was this age and I had the choice to do it or not to do it, and whatever choice I made put me on the path where I am now. So I would ask Trish that get in touch with the NFL Players Association, NFL retired players, and introduce yourself. And introduce Safe Passage to it. I'm sure we will be able to do something together.
I have a unique skill set, and it's not boasting, but it's because the divine has raised me up from a batterer of the hopeless variety. I work at Wayside Pitchers Detention Center. It's through an organization called 5 Keys that has a contract with the Sheriff's Department. We provide their education. I've been fortunate to work with anywhere between 20 to 30,000 domestic violent offenders. When you've worked with 20 to 30,000 domestic violent offenders, you learn something. I have men right now that are 20 years free from domestic violence, 18, 10, 5. I have men who are successfully transformed. We don't talk about change, we talk about transformation. For every woman that's ever been abused spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically from one who has battered, I apologize. You didn't deserve it, and you're a divine emanation of pure spirit. You're God's flower, and don't you ever, ever forget that. And I'm going to continue to do my work, and you do yours, and we're going to make this happen.
So thank you all for being here. I really just wanted to say thank you for your support. I am a survivor, and I stayed far too long, like most of us do. And it was until I had to see radiographic evidence when I was getting a titanium implant put in my eye that it was time to leave. And I tell my story all over the country because I want other people to leave before I did. And I can also tell my story because after I finally left my abuser, I found him hanging. So he's not here anymore, and I'm not afraid anymore. But what I can tell you is the work that Trish and her team do has a much longer term impact than just getting someone out of a house and getting them to a safe place.
So what I found out was that the victims of PTSD pretty much all have PTSD, insomnia, and night terrors. And this is something that in the audience probably can understand what I'm talking about. Now to me, this was fascinating because I had been treating sleep apnea in my office with the alternative to a CPAP. I'm doing a mandibular advancement device. The acronym is also MAD, Modern American Dentistry, so it's a perfect fit. This is a device that can actually treat sleep apnea without having to lug around a machine. Now, part of what I've learned is that the victims of PTSD, their insomnia has a physical and psychological component. These women are struggling as it is to reclaim their lives. They don't know that over 90% of women with PTSD insomnia actually have obstructive sleep apnea. So I'm here to bring that information out to the general public to know that it's difficult enough to try and recover from domestic violence, but when you're not sleeping, it makes it almost impossible.
As Peter Gabriel once said, those of us who have the eyes and ears of the media have a responsibility to amplify the voices of the voiceless. I pledge to you that my work in this regard has only just begun. I wanted to take a moment and thank Trish and everybody here today for coming and gathering in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and for celebrating the survivors and agencies working to put an end to domestic abuse. Thank you for coming and for playing your individual and collective roles in this critical cause. Thank you all for being here. It takes us working together to make this happen, and it's not okay for domestic abuse to happen. That's why I'm dedicated to this brochure that you all have on your seats. It's called It's Not Okay. And it's being put in every emergency room in Los Angeles County, and police departments, and libraries, and banks. And I would like to thank North Hollywood Division and Dennis Zine's son, who are the first to put it in LAPD and have the poster and brochures. We have them in Spanish and English. And also Kaiser Hospital and Providence Hospital, where I work. So be on guard and don't be asleep like others. Stay alert and clear-headed and not let it happen on our watch.
We forget about the children, the innocent victims of this whole thing. You know, as the woman, as the mother, we experience it, but the children, they're emotionally involved in this whole process too, and we need to give them a voice.
So I recently came on board with Safe Passage with my own personal journey as a victim and survivor. It was just such a wonderful organization to be part of. And you know, to be here and able to help launch Domestic Violence Awareness Month with this great organization, it's just such an honor and pleasure to feel like I'm able to give back. You know, so it's important.
That's wonderful. And how far along are you in your own journey?
I was in a toxic relationship for several years, and it's been a year and a half that I've been able to break out and be finally free. Of course, you know, there's a lot of different steps in that journey of healing, and I feel like I'm at a really great place right now, able to sort of help others. I feel like I'm at a good point to reflect, and I've learned so much, and I've really grown within myself and recovered, and it's just, you know, it's a very personal thing, and just something that I'd love to share with other people, and, you know, see in what way I can help.
A lot of these women, they actually have obstructive sleep apnea, and the medical component of that needs to be repaired before they can actually get full healing. Without proper sleep, your body cannot heal itself, and there's no way these women are going to feel comfortable and confident. And that's the message that I'm here to sort of bring out. This is fairly new stuff, and I'm working with a lot of the Women of Safe Passage. We're creating a program to treat PTSD insomnia.
Hi, my name is Jared Bunch. I'm a retired NFL player, and I'm in the entertainment business now. I live here in California, and I'm out here just to show my support for Safe Passage and give help the cause in any way that I can.
I'm out today to support all of the advocates that help with victims of domestic abuse. This is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but these individuals work tirelessly at the local level and at the national level every day of their lives.
I went through this about, it may have been 8 years ago, and when I look back and I deal with a lot of women on a daily basis through my business. I have a beauty business, and I look back, if anything, because I used to feel so embarrassed, so I never told anyone. And because I was getting threatened and beaten to if I thought about telling my brothers, or I had cousins, and I had people that could handle it, but I was so afraid for my family. So if anything, don't feel embarrassed. It's not your fault, and go to a true professional like Safe Patch. Go somewhere really that's safe, and that you don't have to feel like you're being judged, and get help from a professional. Don't ask your girlfriends. Don't, just go to a professional, because you're going to be safe. They're going to protect you. They're going to, everything's confidential, and you can be all the way raw and honest and get help.
It's a stigma. Domestic violence, nobody wants to talk about it. But you know what? We've come a long way in the past 21 years. When my sister was murdered, I think it took her murder, her death, for the world to wake up against the dirty little secret of domestic violence. Before, it was something that was under the rug, underneath the kitchen table, that nobody really wanted to bring out into the public. Put it out on the kitchen table, and then let's start talking about it. It's really hard to open up the door to conversation, but for the most part, that's where the advocates come in, and we will do what we can to get the message out there. Because people feel in anything dealing with domestic violence, mental health issues, prescriptive drug overdoses, whatever it is, these are subjects nobody wants to talk about. And families feel that it can't happen to me. I never thought what happened to Nicole could happen to her. And Nicole left a trail. She left diaries, she left pictures. I mean, she left a huge paper trail. And without that, we never would have known really what domestic violence was. So it's all about, let's just start talking about the things we don't want to talk about, because this is reality television. This is real life stuff. And we need to start talking about it, because people are getting killed.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all of you guests, and all of you wonderful people, thank you for coming. Please take your brochure with you. Don't forget the Mia Moore event a week from today. We're going to do a fundraiser in Beverly Hills. We need your support. Please come. All your sponsors have your tickets. You're already prepaid. It's only $35 to come to this Mia Moore White Gala. It's going to be right in Beverly Hills at Nick's. Please don't forget your postcard.
Will the hamburgers be bigger than the ones over there?
Yes, they will. Yeah. But anyway, please break up. If you didn't get your pictures taken, please get to the media backdrop. And I thank you again. Please stay in touch with me. We have over 100 resources at our desk, so we can send you and refer anybody to anything. We're here for you. God bless you all.